understand me, I'm talking about, y'all feel me, you know what I mean? You underdig that. Do you?
I definitely do. That's where I come in at. Walk like a player, talk like a player. Keep it real, baby. I'm a lifesaver. Far from a ain't got too many favors. I ain't gotta settle. I got too many flavors. Feel more mackin', Skull City stacking. Players over here, let me tell you what's happening. Me and Spin.
Live from New Orleans, 2K Sports proudly brings you NBA basketball from the home of the Pelicans. Alongside Greg Anthony and Stan Van Gundy, I'm Kevin Harlan. Allie LaForce will be our reporter tonight on the sideline. Last outing for the Nets, it was a loss to the Mavericks in Dallas. Now here's Murray. Pass to Williamson. It's hauled in by Claxton. And Greg, we know he's a fearsome dunker, but Zion Williamson also has a soft touch.
And that's a great point, Kevin. He can finish in every way, either hand, through contact, off balance, on the run. A natural gift for converting around the rim.
Pocket two. And it's blocked by Jordan.
And the one thing we know about DeAndre, he's a presence at both ends of the floor. He protects the rim on D just as much as he punishes it at the offensive end.
Here's Murray. Good on the shot. Murray's got the game going here with the first basket for the Pelicans.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
Here's Simmons, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan. Both of these teams have been having a tough go of it lately, Stan. They've been unable to string together wins.
Yeah, Kevin, there's no better way for a team to get off the ropes than to face a team that's also on the ropes. One of these teams has got to get their mojo back tonight.
Gets it out to Williamson. Pass to Murray. 6 to shoot. Another shot. She's over Powell. Murray, no good. All alone. And the dunk by Powell.
And his competitiveness showing through. That's an aggressive finish.
Yeah, and getting out in transition allows for some easy points before that defense is fully set.
And Simmons slams it in.
And that's Simmons at his best. So good at navigating the open floor.
And Murray's got the ball here for the New Orleans Pelicans. 4-point game. Nice D from Porter.
And there hasn't been anything easy for him in this period.
Well, the offense has to look for ways to get him easier shots, better selections. You have to be set up for success.
Now here's Porter. And finished off by Porter.
Well, showing off the athleticism. At 6'10", Porter Jr. is a major problem inside.
And new leadership for the Pelicans. Greg looking to create a tough, no-excuses mindset.
And at the risk of making excuses, injuries are what held this team back last season. So some of that toughness might be best reflected in their ability to just stay on the court.
And so James Borrego decides to call timeout. He's going to take a few moments here to check in with his team and regroup. Pelicans still look like they're getting going. Trailing here by 8. And there's the call on Zion Williamson. That is his first foul of the game.
Second team foul.
And stolen by Williamson. And there's the call on Zion Williamson. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's a couple of very shaky possessions in a row. One turnover right after the other.
Here's Claxton. Plays it up and banks it in.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Williamson with it. Now defended by Powell. Steps back. Back to Williamson. To end the drought. Rebound, Brooklyn. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Here's Powell. The kick out to Porter. Wide open. It's hauled in by Queen.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better look. That's one he's got to knock down.
To the wing right side. Pass to Williamson. Shot clock at 6. It's hauled in by Michael Porter. Nets leading by 10. Here's Clowney. And here's Porter. There's a screen by Porter. Powell, no one around him. And he's good on the 3-ball. Powell's got 7 points in the game. And so James Borrego decides to call timeout. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. Pelicans trailed by 13. Here's Spears.
2 minutes remaining in the
Pass to Queen. Now Spears. Offensive rebound. Got a piece of it. Powell with the steal. And the dunk by Powell.
And you can see their strategy coming in. They want to control the paint.
Yeah, and until the defense makes an adjustment, there's no reason to go away from what they're doing.
To stop the run, he gets it in there.
The length of Murphy can be surprising. He's 6'8" with a good wingspan.
An impressive rise for Trey Murphy. From a no-star prospect stand in high school to now showing flashes of star potential in the NBA.
Well, look, Kevin, there are guys like that, and Trey Murphy's been one of them. And what you don't know, certainly when they're in high school, is how much of a worker they are, how coachable they are, and how much improvement is out there for those guys. With Trey Murphy, it just hasn't stopped.
Now here's Powell. 11 points in the game. There's the pick. Puts the move on. The layup good by Porter. Porter's got his second basket of the game.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
For young Jeremiah Fears, passing will be his meal card in the NBA. He already makes really good decisions.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Jones, no one around him. No good from outside. Moves back up. Clowney pulls it in. Here's Powell. And he misses the fast break layup.
I mean, that can happen to anyone, but it's ugly every time it does.
Yeah, that's one he'd like to have back. Those are the opportunities you have to convert.
Brooklyn, 23.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for Brooklyn.
Well, they're playing with great pace, pushing the ball up the floor and attacking before the defense can get set.
And another thing, guys, they've been very active tonight, frequently creating scoring opportunities off turnovers.
Now here's Powell. 17-point lead, their biggest.
And, guys,
Guys, point of emphasis for the league is to really crack down on illegal screens.
Yeah, and yet we still see it a lot. It's a tough thing to police.
And that one is good. Fears has got his first points of the night.
And hey, this rookie Fears can drain that midi with the best of them.
Shoots from 8. Williams. Oh, and the jam by Williams.
And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, I mean, he gets up. Pass to Fears. Tries from 10. Rebound, Brooklyn. They'll be playing host to Chicago for their next game. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Here's Demon. Taken away. And Jeremiah Fears gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
And here is Williams. Pass to Minot. Clock at 6. Over Williamson. And Jones pulls it down. Pelicans trailed by 17. A 3-ball. And Trey Murphy gets the 3. 5 points in the game.
Well, Murphy essentially lives on the arc. His job is to provide his team with consistent outside shooting.
Here's Mann. Nothing on the board. And it's Demon missing. Teardrop shot. And he lays it up and in.
Tried to get in there using his height. Murphy working through the defense.
Boom, he jams it straight down.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Yeah, I'd consider calling timeout right away after that one. The defense has to be better there.
Beautiful reverse jam right there.
Use the rim to protect the ball, I think. Now we'll hear from Allie LaForce, and she's got a story for us. An update. Allie?
Hey. Trey Murphy didn't dunk in a game until he was a high school senior. Crazy to think now with the length and the leaping ability he has. He said back then there were times where I'd have doubt or be a little stressed about my future. If I said I knew I'd end up here, I have been lying to you. Guys?
Okay, thank you, Allie. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Well, Greg, you've had a long NBA career, so I'm curious, what's one of the biggest changes you've noticed since you've retired?
Well, you know, one that doesn't get talked about enough, length. You know, players these days are just longer, especially in the backcourt and that wing position. It feels like every team has a guy 6'9" or taller that is a pure perimeter player.
Well, it seems like every season, DeJounte Murray is out to make it his best year. That competitiveness is something you really appreciate.
Pass to Demon. There's the drive. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss. Pelicans trailed by 13. Williamson left side. Poole with no one around. Buries the long-range jumper. Poole's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Pass to Williams. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Look, you can get away with a lot in terms of screens today. You can't make it that obvious.
And so, Jordi Fernandez decides to call timeout. Looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two. So, for the Nets, Murray looking around. Off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits. You know, Greg, you could argue the Nets kind of overachieved last season under first-year head coach Jordi Fernandez.
Yeah, only the 6th worst record last season. The defense was halfway decent, but they understand some patience is required in a rebuild.
And Poole gets it to go.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Up top, Powell. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
Now into the lineup for the Nets. Number 10.
Pelicans trailed by 10. Pass to Bay. Here's the break. Here's Connie. Powell's got room. Bay pulls it in.
Well, he's going to have some explaining to do on the sideline about why he took that shot.
Yeah, you know, back in the day, you'd be taking a seat. Now, unfortunately, it seems like we see too many ill-advised shots.
Now here's Murray. He's got 6, a 3, and the Pelicans hit again from deep.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
Pass to Clowney. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
Oh, get out of his way.
No way the D was going to slow him down. They get it back. Here's Jordan. Comes out of the gate empty. He's 0 for 1. Brooklyn leading by 6. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Takes a 3. Up again. Great positioning on the putback.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Here's Murray. And it's Murray with the jam.
Just a straight flush by Murray. No fret.
Here's Powell. Can't hit from in close. It'll count. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And so that's the end of the first half. Nets out in front. They lead by 6. And we'll be back right after this. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. And Simmons has got the ball here for Brooklyn. Pass to Powell. And the dunk by Powell.
And once he gets clear off the screen, there is no stopping him.
No, not when there's a flush waiting to happen.
Well, give credit to the screener there. That's how you help free up your teammates.
Now, that's what I call a momentum changer.
Yeah, when you've got a point guard, that kind of spring, no lead is safe.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity to finish with some authority, trying to fire his guys up.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Claxton with the steal. The 3. Powell, that's good. And now an 11-point Nets lead.
Well, when you look at what he's provided them on the offensive end, it's been an important part of why they're leading.
And he stays with it. Drives to the hoop. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
There's some power behind Murphy's drive. He can be aggressive when he wants to be.
No question, Michael Porter Jr. is a true shooter. Stan, he gets out there and scores, it seems like, every possession.
Well, listen, Michael Porter Jr. is not only a great shooter, he's got that high release that people can't get to. So he knows when he shoots it. It's just a matter of make or miss.
Goodness, Ben Simmons, unreal.
Pelicans trailed by 13. Kicks it out to Jones. Williamson right side. Good defense by Claxton. Powell, left side. Fires from deep. In for another field goal. A sublime 9 of 14 on the night.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic, and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
So for the Nets.
Substitution on the court.
Murray right side. Can't cash in from close range. Nets leading by 16. Pass to Malawach. To the left side wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Nets need to get a shot off here. Misses from close range. Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Yeah, focus. Just make the simple play.
And we've seen it more than once. DeJounte Murray has been traded for huge hauls.
And that shows you his worth in this league. Teams have been willing to give up a lot to get him. You don't see that kind of length and versatility every day.
And so James Borrego decides to call timeout. This now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes. And the Nets making a change here. The first one falls. And unfortunately, Coach, the Pelicans still looking for the franchise's first deep playoff run.
Yeah, just 2 playoff series wins since their arrival in New Orleans back in 2002. They've had some tremendous talents, but the stars have yet to align.
And now, Hallie LaForce has something for us from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. It was a lost season for the New Orleans Pelicans. Continued injury troubles derailing a team that, when healthy, looked capable of a top seed, leaving some wondering whether a curse needed lifting. But with some draft help and a still talented roster, the hope is this could be the year. Back to you.
All right, Allie, thanks a lot.
And how about the offensive rebound with a little extra punch on the putback?
You're right, Greg. As they look to trim the deficit, could we see them send a few more bodies to the boards from here on out? Maybe, just maybe. Here's Messi. After the basket by Brooklyn. Pass to Murray.
2 minutes remaining.
Now Messi. And Messi throws it down.
Well, Murray's got a great feel of when to let that pass go in the pick and roll.
Here's Demon. 6 points for him. Here's Clowney. No good with the triple. Here's Poole. Diving in. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Poole's got 7 points in the game.
Nobody can knife through a lane quite like Jordan Poole.
There's the pick. Pass to Clowney. And the 3 off target. Pelicans trailed by 10. Here's Bay. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits. Bay's got his first bucket in this one.
Yeah, this offense is rolling. They've been assertive, but they're also playing under control.
Yeah, you know, I like how they're not relying on just one guy to get it done. They're sharing the ball and keeping the defense guessing.
Now, that's what I call a momentum changer.
Yeah, when you've got a point guard, that kind of spring, no lead is safe.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity to finish with some authority, trying to fire his guys up.
Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Here's man, and they will call over the back on the play.
And guys, as soon as you start going over and through a rebounder, you're probably going to get whistled for over the back.
Yeah, you can get away with a little bump in the back, but as soon as you lean that much on him, you're going to get called for the foul.
Pass to man. To the middle. Here's Wilson. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. And the Nets lead by 10.
Man, just adding insult to injury. He just waltzes inside and extends this lead.
Well, it's not going to get any easier if they can't improve their defensive intensity. They got to show some fight.
And so it's the Brooklyn Nets going. And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. Here's Fears. It's hauled in by Claxton. Nets leading by 10. Here's Porter, and he drops in the layup off the glass. 8 points for Michael Porter.
Well, Porter Jr. shoots a very high percentage in the paint.
Williamson in the post. Here's Queen. In the corner, Bay with it. Pass to Fear. 4 on the shot clock. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Powell outside. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Nets?
Well, you've got to like that they're not settling. They're attacking the defense on the drive and creating great looks.
And another thing, guys, they dominated on fast breaks tonight, outrunning their opponent the entire game.
It's time to send it over now to our reporter, Allie Laporte.
Hey, guys. Well, Jordi Fernandez was just reviewing the plan with his team. He said, this is who we are. This is the pace. Don't let up. He said it doesn't matter if they go on a run. What matters is how we respond. They plan to respond with a fury, guys.
And as always, Allie, great job. Thank you. The kick out to Poole. Elbow shot is on the way. And the shot no good, a bit short. And so Simmons will bring it up for Brooklyn. 17 points was their biggest margin. Here's Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
Never a bad idea to run the old pick play.
You're right. And if it produces a slam like that, we'll probably see more of them.
Yeah, defensive breakdown there. Gotta communicate and switch that screen.
So, Greg, talking about Jeremiah Fears for a second here. Both he and his brother, Jeremy Jr., play college basketball at the same time during the 24-25 season.
Clearly, this sport runs in their family. Jeremiah's fearlessness and competitive spirit have made him an enticing prospect, and I'm sure he attests he owes that, at least partially, to Jeremy.
That one drops for him. Powell's got 6 in the quarter.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them. Consistency all game long. He's going to continue, I think, to have to take it over to get them back in the game.
Free throw, no good for Misi. And in a little over a decade, the Nets, GA, having to rebuild from the ashes of 2 super team iterations.
The short time span between shows how quickly they can turn things around. And with a treasured trove of picks in the coming years, they look to climb that mountain once again. Success from three-point range is going to be important for Fears. That'll take his game up a notch.
At the top of the key, Powell. Now Claxton. Can't get it. Well, Greg, they're making a valiant effort to come all the way back. Wow.
And they need to take care of the basketball. Plenty of time. No need to force anything.
Poole. Driving to the basket.
How about the execution out of that pick and roll as Poole calls his own number?
Porter outside. It's in there.
A
love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless, building this lead in every way possible.
And so James Borrego decides to call timeout. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. And Jordi Fernandez has called a timeout. There was no hesitating. He wants to talk to the team right now.
Attention, everybody in the building, on your...
Pelicans trailed by 10. Oh, wow, what a quick move inside.
That is incredible.
A huge two-handed slam. Powell outside.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Takes it inside. Jordan pulls it down. New Orleans now, time running out. Williamson puts it up. Now Jordan. Oh, the layup finish off an excellent lead pass.
A comfort zone of Jordan's. The closer he is to the rim, the more efficient he becomes.
Well, he's a bit of an undersized center. However, his leaping ability can certainly mask that.
Murray, what a finesse finish on the way-in.
Yeah, you can see the confidence that Murray plays with in these clutch moments.
We've got 1:08 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Powell fires. Jordan pulls it down. And here's New Orleans now. They're on a 14-6 run. Porter pulls it down. Brooklyn with the ball. 17 points was the biggest margin. And now we've got the intentional foul. Powell outside. Here he goes. Oh, that was a two-hander.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, and at this point, the focus is take care of the ball, no needless fouls, and no threes.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's an 8-point game. We've got 33 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And it's blocked! And he keeps control of the ball. And they can just dribble the ball until the buzzer.
Yeah, they got to be happy with the outcome.
Powell feeling it out a bit. Just 5 on the clock. And Jordan sends it back. So it's the Nets picking up the win. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it,